Hello everyone, this is Dennis and you're on the Electro channel. Today we'll be talking about a lithium polymer battery protection board that costs just 10 cents. The BMS protection board is the key component of all lithium polymer batteries. It protects them from overcharging and over-discharging. Powering various electronic devices from the battery can severely discharge it. If the discharge is left uncontrolled, its voltage can drop below acceptable levels, which can permanently damage the battery. The same applies to charging batteries. If you have a power source that you use to charge batteries, but its voltage is higher than the battery's maximum voltage, charging the battery with such a device can be dangerous. Overcharging can cause the battery to explode. Therefore, to monitor the battery's maximum voltage and shut off charging in a timely manner, a BMS is useful. The board's dimensions are quite small. It's 31 mm long and 4 mm wide. The manufacturer's stated maximum current is 3 amps. Although another AliExpress store with identical boards lists the maximum current as 2 amps, and 3 amps is the overload cutoff current. This BMS is very simple. The board contains only a few components. On the left side is a contact pad for spot welding. The negative battery terminal is connected to this. Next is an assembly with two 8205 La field effect transistors. One transistor turns on when the battery is charging, and the other turns on when the battery is discharging. The maximum current for each transistor is 6 amps. Then comes a 1 kilo ohm resistor, and finally, the microcircuit that controls the entire BMS. Its marking is DW01A. It protects the battery from over-discharge, overcharge, output short circuit, and overcurrent. Following this is a capacitor, a 100 ohm resistor, and another contact pad. The positive battery terminal is connected here. On the back of the board, the battery connection contacts are duplicated. In the center are the contacts for connecting the load and charger. It's best not to solder wires to the spot welding pads. Due to heat, the pads may desolder from the board and shift. This will cause you unnecessary trouble. Connecting to the BMS is very simple. The battery terminals marked B+ and B- are connected to the corresponding poles. The load is connected to P+ and P-. The charger is also connected here. Naturally, polarity must be observed. For more precise parameters of this BMS, you can refer to the chip's datasheet. There's a table there listing the main operating voltage parameters. Charging is disabled when the battery voltage reaches 4.3 volts, with an accuracy of ± 50 millivolts. If a load is connected to the battery after it's charged, but the charger is not disconnected, the battery will begin to discharge. And when its voltage drops to 4.1 volts, charging will restart. The load is disconnected from the BMS when the battery voltage drops below 2.4 volts, with an accuracy of ± 100 millivolts. If the battery is charged during this time, the load will turn on when the battery voltage reaches 3 volts. To test the maximum current this BMS can handle, I'll use nichrome coils as a load. I'll be using this converter instead of a battery to get a high current without voltage drop. I connected a BMS to it and nichrome coils to its output. The coils have different power ratings. One is more powerful, the other is weaker. I'll supply 3.7 volts from the power supply. The load draws 1.3 amps. The BMS handles it without any problems. I'll remove the first nichrome coil and connect the second one. It consumes just over 2 amps. If I connect 2 nichrome coils simultaneously, the BMS goes into protection mode. The current is already above the maximum limit, almost 3.5 amps. I'll try connecting them one at a time. First the 2 amp coil, then the 1 amp coil. The BMS shuts off again. To adjust the load more smoothly and accurately measure the current at which the BMS shuts off, I decided to use an electronic load. The load is not shown, but if you're interested in what it looks like, the link is in the upper right corner and in the description. I gradually increase the load, and the current begins to rise. Through my experiments, I found that the current this BMS can handle continuously is approximately 2.7 amps, less than the manufacturer claims. If I increase the load further, the BMS shuts off immediately, before even reaching the 2.8 amp mark. When the battery discharges and its voltage drops below a certain value, the BMS immediately disconnects the load. Let's see how this happens. A light bulb is now connected to the BMS output, and I'm slowly reducing the voltage. When the voltage dropped to 2.5 volts, the light bulb turned off successfully. If the battery voltage rises to 3 volts, the load turns back on. This matches the stated parameters. If a load is connected to the BMS and you suddenly decide to add another one, and the BMS then goes into overload protection, you need to disconnect the entire load to restore it. Then reconnect the load, and everything works as expected again. The microchip exited protection mode. In addition to the protections mentioned above, this one also claims to have short circuit protection at the output, but I didn't test it. Many BMSs have this feature, but it doesn't always work. After a short circuit, the board can simply burn out. If you suddenly want to connect 2 batteries in series, but don't have a dual battery BMS handy, you can use these boards. All overcharge and over-discharge protections will work. You'll get a fully functional 2S BMS. Where I bought these BMSs on AliExpress, they're offered for use with lithium-ion and lithium-polymer batteries. But the charging and discharging voltages aren't specified. Many people use the most common 4.2-volt lithium-ion batteries. As we discovered, this BMS's voltage is slightly higher. Therefore, it won't work with them. Of course, you can charge the battery to this voltage without it exploding. But this will likely affect its service life. There are many types of lithium-ion and lithium-polymer batteries, and they all have different voltages. And you need to choose a BMS for each specific type. The voltage of my lithium-polymer batteries is 4.35 volts. That's just right for them. The only thing that concerns me is the very low cutoff voltage. Many battery datasheets typically list a minimum voltage of 3 to 2.7 volts. And here it's 2.4 volts, with an error of up to 100 millivolts. And how this will affect the batteries in the long term is unclear. But my batteries are far from new, so I decided to take a chance here. If you're buying a BMS for your battery, always check its parameters. That's all for today. Like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ask questions in the comments if anything is unclear. And bye everyone.